Welcome to Ricochet 21!
On this week's Ricochet, we have Zoe talking about the future of eSports, Nintendo entering the healthcare business, and a ton of DC news.
Tune in for the rest of Ricochet 21, and as usual, you can find us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on CrossfireCoop.com, and on podcast apps near you. Today is the last day to get Shiny Yveltal, the Pokemon, from Nintendo Network. But if you missed Darkrai, hey, pay attention! Do you believe this? I don't believe this! Better just get it. Just get it done. Get it done!
Oh, wait.
In case you missed Darkrai, we have you covered. We have 3...
Just hit us up in the comment section below for you on YouTube.
Yep.
If you're listening to this on the other podcast services, iTunes, Google Play, those, just hop on over to our YouTube channel.
Yep.
Which?
youtube.crossfirecoop.com.
Perfect.
Or crossfirecoop.com and leave us a comment.
Yep.
A leaked Destiny, Hola Destiny, poster popped up on Reddit this week. The poster looks like it shows off. Do you mind?
Oh. She keeps catching me with my 3DS.
Just get your Pokemon and pay attention. The poster looks like it shows off the next expansion for the hit series, and it's titled Rise of Iron. The poster features several wolves and possibly the lead of the Iron Banner, Lord Saladin, wielding a mighty flaming hammer or possibly an axe.
I've heard people state that it's a hammer, but it looks kind of axe-like, so it is a really cool poster.
It's got a body like a battle axe. Okay. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said that Rockstar will not release a new game in the current fiscal year. New game. Which runs from April 1st, April Fool's Day, to March 21st of 2017. Just saying. Leaks and rumors have pointed out their next game could be a Red Dead sequel, and you have a little something to say about this?
Yeah, they really emphasized new game.
New game.
It would be nice to see some Red Dead remakes appear on current-gen consoles before the next Red Dead.
There you have it.
That's what I'm hoping for E3 this year.
Perhaps. Gran Turismo Sport will be released on November 15th in the US and Japan, and November 18th in the UK. At Paris Games Week last October, the game was announced for PS4 and PSVR. According to Video Gamer, Sport will What?
Gran Turismo Sport.
Okay. Sport! I like sport. Will feature 137 super premium real world and fantasy vehicles. I like fantasy vehicles.
Those are your favorite ones.
19 tracks with 27 possible layouts. If you're ready to start your engines, you can get a 3-car pack for pre-ordering that includes a Ford Mustang Group B rally car, a Toyota FT1, Vision GT Group 3, and a Pugo 908 HDIF APL and P1. There's your alphabet.
What?
What? You can also get additional bonuses through Amazon, GameStop, and the PS Store.
If this is PSVR Day 1, I am picking this up. It'll be so awesome.
Just want to make vroom. Okay. Warlords of Draenor is now available as the World of Warcraft base game for only $20. If you're interested, it might be the best time to jump in and pick up WoW before the upcoming Legion expansion, which is August 30th. Batman.
It's a good deal. $20 for all of the previous expansions.
All including Legends of Pandaria. Mists of Pandaria. Pandas. Oh, so cute.
You're very growling tonight.
Batman Return to Arkham has finally been announced. It will include Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, along with their DLC, and of course, be released on PS4 and Xbox One on July 29th. What a nice day that is. For $49.99. And, I'm not surprised, it looks like the lack of campaign for Star Wars Battlefront was so that they could release it alongside The Force Awakens last year. According to Patrick Soderlund, EA Studio boss, says the next Battlefront will include a more fully fledged single-player mode, campaign, story, whatever, when it launches next year. Patrick also mentioned during the investors' call that EA has created Frostbite Labs, a team of 40 to 30 people working on out their projects and preparing the company for VR and AR. Sign me up. They are also looking into new ways to design games using Frostbite, the Frostbite engine. They had this to say, quote, instead of having to work on conceptual artists to build a level and figure out whether it's winter, whether it's nighttime, a creator can go into Frostbite Editor and apply certain attributes, end quote. Once the base set of the level is built, then the artists and designers can go in and improve it quickly and create a better end product.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
And one thing to mention about Battlefront, while I do wish it did have a story mode, the multiplayer is really awesome. And the graphics are just jaw-dropping.
Jaw-dropping. They're quite nice.
Yeah.
Also, during the briefing, Soderlund talked about how he initially rejected Battlefield 1. He said, quote, when the team presented to me the idea of World War I absolutely rejected it. I said, World War I is trench war, it can't be fun to play, end quote. Apparently the team didn't listen, and instead they brought him a very short demo, and that convinced him to take the risk. So, the lesson you need to learn here, when your boss says no, just do it anyway.
It is getting a ton of positive feedback right now.
Yep. Trench war can be fun, kids. I mean, that's the lesson I learned from this whole exchange.
We need you
to watch Ricochet 21. Like you're doing right now. You're awesome. According to Polygon, it looks like EA Chief Executive Director Richard Hilleman is no longer with the company. He was influential in making EA Sports Division what it is today. So, unfortunately, don't know where he's gone to, but their sports division is quite large and in charge.
Yeah, it dominates sports gaming.
Absolutely. Paragon will be having a free weekend this week, running from Thursday the 26th of May to the 30th. Some Memorial Day or Memorial Weekend playtime.
Kimber emailed me this morning. I think she's pretty excited.
I'm pretty pumped, yeah. The free beta weekend will be open to anyone who registers this week, and of course people who have registered previously. Get in there. I'll see you on the battlefield. The creation tool in Halo 5, Guardian's Forge, will be coming to Windows 10 for free later this year. It will include mouse and keyboard support, increased resolution, and of course the ability to publish your creations to the Xbox One.
That's pretty cool.
Something I know nothing about, Xbox One. I'd like to. Hi, Xbox One. Hideo Kojima.
Hi, over there.
Hi. Hideo Kojima cannot do anything small. Goes without saying. Speaking at the Nordic Game 2016 festival, he said, at the beginning, I was thinking to make a small title. After I met with friends and acquaintances worldwide, they said, no, everyone's expecting you to make a big title. So,
I mean, coming off of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes.
Such an epic game.
People are still talking about PT, which is just a demo, and it's, all the rage. So, the first title coming from me will be a big title. In order to expedite the process, he went on a world tour with Mark Cerny earlier this year to find the tools his team would use to create the game.
Yeah, remember we saw all the the shots of the planes going up and down, and
Yep, the full body logo of his company's icon.
last week.
Yep. Naughty Dog's Uncharted 4: A Thief's End has sold over 2.7 million units worldwide, setting the record as the, quote, fastest-selling PlayStation 4 first-party title to date. Boom.
Hot diggity.
About to back it up. Yeah, that's pretty good. The game is gorgeous. I've seen people's stills, their screenshots. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't even have words for it.
I have no words. I'm without palabras. It's crazy. So we just need to move on to the next thing, because I'll just sit here and think about how gorgeous the game is. Talos Principle 2 is ready to go. Alan Ladovic has announced Crow Team's sequel to their game, The Talos Principle, at the Nordic Game Conference.
A lot of news coming from the Nordic Game Conference.
Yeah, I want to go to the Nordic Game Conference. StarCraft 2 is getting a new co-op commander. What? Patch 3.3 added Zerg Gene Sequencer Abattoir, which can be unlocked for $5. Abattoir uses his evolutionary mechanics to mutate and command his army. The patch also added new content to its co-op missions, including mutations that will update weekly. If you are max level, you can also look forward to mastery levels that allow you to move beyond level 15. And on top of that, also be on the lookout for new emoticons.
I hear there's emoticons for the base game, for the expansions, and other things.
A little money, a little more emotion. Nintendo is planning on updating the company's stated purpose at the upcoming Board of Directors meeting on June 29. According to a notice issued by President Tatsumi Kimishima, they want to add ventures like eating establishments,
Interesting.
computer software, and health devices, and licensing the rights to Nintendo's intellectual property. Because, like, the Pikachu pedometer wasn't enough for the health devices, I guess.
Well, I hear they were trying to create a vitality sensor for the Wii U that read your heartbeat as you were playing games and adjusted.
Sure.
Sure.
Nintendo's current business focus already includes selling playing cards, office equipment, paper products, and video games, of course.
I hear the Final Fantasy cafes are amazing.
I want to go to one of those.
It'd be pretty cool to go to a Nintendo-themed restaurant.
Yeah. Pika Burger, I don't know.
That sounds wrong.
It does sound wrong. I take it back. I'm sorry, Pikachu. Like Magikarp, like sushi. That's so wrong.
Let's move away from Pokemon and food.
Carp. A business analyst at Mitsubishi UFJ Morgan Stanley, that's all together now, wow, that's crazy, found on Yahoo Japan Finance states that the NX might not be the only device released by Nintendo. Here is the quote, and I quote, "The driving force up until now has been new business from, quote, health, quote, inside a quote, health services, theme parks, and mobile games, etc. But we'll switch over to the next generation game system, NX, and next gen handheld game device, MH.
MH?
MH, you know, that cute little thing we saw that's like clearly the next handheld, MH. Mini handheld?
I mean,
handheld?
a new handheld is expected.
Yeah.
The 3DS is getting pretty old now.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there is the
New 3DS XL, XL,
Yeah. Anyways, the hardware is getting pretty old now. But the Wii...
You watch who you're calling pretty old now.
The Wii U has struggled so much
Mm-hmm.
that it seems like Nintendo's rushing a replacement to the market for their home console first.
Mm-hmm.
Which spurred rumors that it might be a combined console.
Yes.
I'm still interested on what's going to happen.
Well, of course I'm interested in what's going to happen.
I just can't believe they're not announcing anything at E3.
Maybe they will. They're just holding out a little surprise.
We'll see.
I almost said sorpresa and it came out really odd. Surprise.
I heard that.
Spanglish tonight. The upcoming Valkyria Chronicles game, Valkyria Azure Revolution, will be undergoing some major changes after feedback from the Japan exclusive beta. What? The game's director Takeshi Ozawa told Famitsu that fans wanted the combat to be more RPG-ish, and the party will count. Zoe agrees. The party count will also increase from 3 to 4 members, and the game will no longer have field encounters. These changes will be reflected in the game's next demo this summer. And fans had a lot to say about the Neo Alpha demo, which was the beta. Yeah. I played this, Will played this.
It's brutal.
I have these charts that are really interesting. They graded it on overall, action and controls, graphics and atmosphere, character design, stage design, UI, music and sound effects, difficulty and game balance for Americas, Asia, and the world.
It looked like the Americas really got into the level of hardness for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But Asia might have thought it was too hard.
Too hard, bad stage design, not good action controls, yeah. But I just want to feel like didn't even let people rate it on story.
Well,
because there wasn't one.
There wasn't really much of a story.
So I'll be interested to know how that changes or if it changes.
I really enjoyed the alpha demo.
I really enjoyed it too. It was so hard. It made me keep coming back to play the same part over and over again in different ways to try to get past it. It was very addicting, even though I'm making it sound really monotonous.
We just put up our impressions yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you check those out.
Yep, definitely check those out. Ooh, what's on target? The future of eSports is on target. Word was released earlier this week that ESPN and Riot Games may close a deal $50 million to broadcast LCS. $500 million.
That's a lot of money.
$500 million. Both Riot and ESPN have responded to GameSpot saying that these reports are inaccurate and they're not actually inactive talks. They're just inactive texts and emails. Whatever's going on here, we know the industry is changing. Turner and IMG/WME have partnered up with to broadcast E-League on TBS, while it's also being streamed on Twitch. LCS, of course, is continuing to grow. Viewership 11.8% this year at 22.8 million hours watched weekly.
That's a lot of hours.
It's a lot. News has also came out that the German football team Schalke now has a League of Legends team. Yeah, totally. And we talked last week about the formation of the WESA in Europe.
So, the industry is really evolving quickly here.
Definitely.
Our good friend Michael gave us some information, wanted us to talk about some eSports. So we're putting it on target today.
On target. I have mixed feelings about eSports. Because I really enjoy League, for example. But I find some matches to be quite toxic. I know you have said that it gets really repetitive for you.
For me, it gets really repetitive, especially League,
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like I'm the type of gamer that really loves a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I play games to find out what's going to happen next. That's why I'm really into The Witcher right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is the epic story it's telling. Not even in the main quest, but the little side quests and everything around it.
You know, everybody is really, like, getting in, trying to make money on this, like, different sports teams, owners, and things like that. There are players for the different games who are becoming quite well known, like Faker, for example, for League. I don't think I would really like to see some kind of, like, master tournament where the players play a certain number of matches from League and then from other games.
Smash Brothers and Counter-Strike and
Paragon or Overwatch or Battleborn or just several different games, because it's really interesting, but it would add value to like marketing and recognition for the other games, as well as like making those players like it's a different kind of challenge because they have to be well-rounded in several different kinds of games and not just particular characters that they might play for one game.
Although you look at sports like the NBA, NFL, they've grown by being the best at their given league, at their given sport. So it's interesting to see where this transition is going to take. Whether it's, right now it's very much a company-based level. But out of Europe with WESA, as we were talking last week, that's more of an organization that's formed around the teams. There's a lot of money here, but I think there's going to be even more money once real organizations and real, for what's better, like local teams pop up. Because you can be for the American team, but there's so many American teams. There's not, like for us, when we talk football, we go to watch Colts games. We go to the bar to watch Colts games. There's a lot of people that watch different teams on League right now. But once you start to get those local teams that you really identify with, that's where I think it'll really grow.
I don't know if there will be local teams because it's so internet and world-based. I mean, you don't have to be sitting next to your teammates to be on a team. Plus, like, there are issues that Evan brought up about, like, players being able to get visas. So, like, even if they wanted to be locally based, it's quite hard. It's not that they're not treated the same as athletes of other sports.
It's true. There's a lot of growing pains to make this an actual industry. It's showing great signs for growth, but until, I mean, West is a good step, but until actual leagues form, its growth potential is only so much, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's always growing. It's still growing. It's just a matter of having a good foundation to build on, because it's easy to have it grow initially when it's just starting out, but it's also very easy to start off with a shaky foundation. You know, it needs to be built correctly, and I'm not sure what the answers are for that, but I mean, I definitely would love to see a more local team approach like you're talking about, because it's easier for players to, you know, for people to get to know players and to choose favorites and to, you know, go. I mean, it's fun to watch it being streamed, but like, how much cooler would it be to be like, I went to the, you know, SKT game, like.
Yeah. And you were talking about having different games. And one of the big things with gaming, I mean, you see a little bit of evolution in modern sports. The three-point line with basketball. Kickoffs being moved back or forward with football. But one thing about gaming is it's always evolving. It's always taking new leaps, new bounds, and redefining the industry.
Absolutely.
Having a setup like you're talking about that features different games, that sort of league setup allows the industry to continue to evolve by adding the latest games like, oh, Overwatch is awesome. Let's put in Overwatch in the next tournament next year.
And it doesn't have to be like the standard tournament. It could be like a just for fun kind of thing. It doesn't, like, I'm not trying to put forth all the rules for eSports. It's just, it's a different...
The governing body is being formed.
Yo, it's right here. One-stop shop. No, but I'm just saying, like, there are so many things that you can do and so many ways to not capitalize on this, because that sounds really money-driven, but there are so many ways to maximize the experience for everyone involved and to challenge the people who are already quite well-known, who are making a name for themselves.
I mean, eSports, WoW, is becoming popular now. You go back to Donkey Kong and people fighting for the high score. still today, people are still fighting for high scores in Donkey Kong.
Yep.
Someone set a new record, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
It's WoW gaming is ever evolving. There's still these classics too that people can go back to.
Of course.
It's such an interesting industry.
It is. That's why we're in it. Woohoo! Screensaver.
And with that, let's move on to some sales and stuff.
Sales and stuff, heck yeah. Microsoft added a bunch of new games to their backwards compatibility list, including Magic the Gathering 2012, XCOM Enemy Unknown, and DuckTales Remastered!
We got a little Planeswalker to try out.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering. It
Yep.
looks pretty nice, pretty nice.
We'll have our impressions up soon.
Soon after we play it. Microsoft has announced June's Games with Gold, available on June 1st, Goat Simulator and Super Meat Boy. Not together. It's kind of weird. Available on June 16th, The Crew and XCOM Enemy Unknown.
So don't rush out to buy XCOM.
Yeah.
Wait a few days.
Wait a little while. I mean, I would rather get Goat Simulator, Super Meat Boy. But deals with Gold, FIFA 16 for $119.80. What? No way.
That should be $19.80.
For less than $20.
Typo.
Anyway, Fallout 4 for $38.99 and Octodad for $7.50. PlayStation Weekly Sale, Extended Play Sale. If you've been wanting to get in some of these larger games, you can get them this week with the DLC. Includes The Witcher 3 with both expansion packs for $52.49. By the way, you saw an interesting Witcher 3 item.
Yeah, the next card deck is up on GameStop for pre-order.
Blood and Wine expansion with the Gwent card deck with 2 additional decks that aren't in the Hearts of Stone.
It's out next Tuesday, so make sure you get your pre-order up at GameStop. Game stores, I believe, in Europe. And check with your major retailers outside of those 2 locations.
So I'm not 100% on this, but I feel like there are 4 total types of decks in The Witcher 3. Therefore, if you have Hearts of Stone and you get Blood and Wine, theoretically you would have
all 4 decks.
Therefore, if you have Hearts of Stone with its 2 decks, I'm pretty sure Blood and Wine will have the other 2. You can have all 4 decks.
As we discussed previously.
Yes.
It's pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome. And I would recommend, if you're interested, getting that as soon as possible, because we know that they sold out even before we got our review online.
Yep. Although, if you're not interested in the decks, this price on PlayStation is really good, and it includes both expansion packs and the base game.
Absolutely. It's never too late to get into The Witcher 3. It's a huge game. Tons of people are still playing it. Just do it. Battlefield Hardline Deluxe Edition for $17.49.
Go ahead and finish with the last one, and then we'll go back to The Witcher 3 for just a second.
Okay, boss. Life is Strange Complete Season for $11.99.
I saw a question this week.
Uh-huh.
Someone was asking if they should play the other Witchers before jumping into Witcher 3.
You can, but you don't have to.
The first Witcher game is incredibly different combat system from 2, and then even more so from 3. And I have only played a little bit of Witcher 2. I played most of the first Witcher. I'm really delving into Witcher 3. I don't think you need to play the other 2 to get into The Witcher 3 at all.
There's a question when you first start playing that says, like, do you want to apply default decisions or enter your decisions from the previous game? So, like, if you played the previous games and you want the continuity of the story, then you can go in and choose the things you chose in the previous games. Or you can just say, like, give me a default, and it will just start out. And I have not played The Witcher before. I played The Witcher 3, and it's fine. Like, I don't feel... Like, I feel appropriately lost in that I'm still early enough in the game that I'm not quite sure what's going on.
It's very much its own story.
Yeah, I think so too. Target is having an awesome Ubisoft sale this week. Target, for those of you who don't use fancy pronunciation. Receives pronunciation. When you buy 2 of these games, The Division, Far Cry Primal, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Just Dance 2016, Rainbow Six Siege, don't just dance, The Crew, or Far Cry 4, you get a gift card for $50.
This is pretty awesome.
So 2 games, and you get $50 back, and some of those games are 40 and some of them are 50 something. So you're essentially getting a free game.
If not more so.
In the form of a gift card.
Yeah.
There's also another Ubisoft Humble Bundle going on right now, featuring Grow Home, AC Rogue, The Crew, and Far Cry 3. So between those 2 sales, you could have Far Cry 3, Far Cry Primal, and Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4, by the way, quite interesting.
Amazing game.
Really enjoyed it.
Need to get our review of that up soon.
Indeed. And with that,
let's jump into what we're playing.
What we're playing.
This week, I finally platinumed Uncharted. I must say, Drake's Fortune, the first one.
Yeah.
Crushing was hard, but doable.
Okay.
Brutal. It's freaking brutal.
There you have it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get through the brutal trophy on the extra trophy list.
Just go to the next Uncharted game. You're 4 behind.
I should, but Bloodborne just came in and might jump to that. While Bloodborne was actually installing all of the updates it had to do.
9 gigs.
Yeah. I actually started a little Tropico 5. It's interesting. Not sure how much I'll play. But hey, it's one of the games of the month this month, so check it out.
Nice.
I've been watching a little bit of the Tudors.
Indeed. Game of Thrones, of course, Silicon Valley.
Yeah, got a little bit of Game of Thrones news today. HBO had a really cool kind of anatomy of a scene where they went into detail of the makeup of the Children of the Forest.
It's really cool. It's the actress who does the main character, is it Leaf from Children of the Forest?
Yeah, Kay Alexander.
She's like completely unrecognizable once they get all of her prosthesis and makeup on, and she's really cool.
When they're doing the full body shoots, she goes in at midnight just to be on set at 10 a.m.
That's insane.
Yeah, that is absolutely nuts. Check out these before and after photos.
Yeah, definitely check them out.
And I would also make sure you check out the HBO clip. Been reading a little horror flick. I wrote my review just waiting on Kimber.
Yeah, I'm reading quickly since he's been hogging the PS4, so it's easy to get reading time in.
Yes.
Hard to get video game playing time in.
Just finish up. Hop back on. Get to your Digimon. They're waiting on you.
Yeah.
Ooh, comics. I saw you downloaded a few comics this week.
I did. There were some free comics on Comixology I wanted to get my hands on.
Yeah. And speaking of Comixology, did you know that there's a new subscription service?
I did.
Comixology Unlimited. It's $5.99 a month and features comics from many of the large indie publishers. Dark Horse, Image, Boom Studios, Archie Comics, and a ton more.
Yeah, it's cool.
What's missing, though, is you'll see that there's no Marvel, no DC Comics.
Well, Marvel has their own subscription service already, so it's not surprising.
It's not surprising. It was kind of surprising to see no DC, though, since DC doesn't actually have a subscription service.
Perhaps that's in the works. I also read the free comic we got from Comic Book Day. It's quite good. Some Legend of Korra, some Plants vs. Zombies, a little bit of a few different things.
I'll have to check that one out. I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
The Marvel subscription lets you go back quite a bit and read quite a few books.
Nice.
But this seems to be more of an introductory service. It allows you to get a little bit of a piece of a ton of different comics. But if you really want to get into a series, you have to still buy them after the first several issues.
Makes sense.
While we're talking comics today, though, the creator of Hit Girl is looking for a lead artist.
I saw that. Was it $10,000 for 8?
Yeah.
8 of them. Wow.
$10,000 each.
Oh, each.
Each.
Oh.
As well as a generous royalty package for the black and white artwork.
I'm in the wrong industry. Good.
Apparently, he was saying that they had an all-star team put together, but unfortunately the lead artist had to drop out.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to get this published this year, so
Wow.
they're looking to move forward quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If you are an artist, especially into comics and Hit Girl, make sure you reach out to Mark Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a nice payday.
Indeed.
And Zoe agrees. Did you make it out to see the Angry Birds movie this weekend?
No.
Well, apparently it topped the box office at $39 million, supplanting Captain America for the first time in several weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did see that yesterday Captain America was back on top. But yeah, $39 million this weekend. Doing well for Sony Pictures and Rovio. Although Sony's last video game to movie adaptation apparently lost $10 million with the Ratchet and Clank movie.
That's unfortunate. I'd much rather see Ratchet and Clank than Angry Birds.
I would too, but I don't know. I hear the Angry Birds movie, while hasn't scored particularly well, actually had a better basis because it didn't have so much backstory. It was pretty much the creators just designing it from the ground up since, we all know the app, it's flinging birds. So it's kind of like making a Minions movie or something like that, where you're actually creating the characters. Although, it does remind me of, what was that animated movie? Rio. It had the birds.
Yeah.
And then there was an Angry Birds Rio. And,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder how far off that was.
I don't know.
As expected, and confirmed by CW head Mark Pedowich, the 4 DC superhero shows, Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow, will be teaming up for a huge crossover event where they'll all have a joint story.
Interesting.
Yeah, that seems pretty cool.
I'm behind on all of those shows.
May as well, but we need to get caught up because this seems pretty epic.
I need to play video games, and there's one TV.
True. Supergirl is keeping her time slot as she moves to the CW. She'll still be Mondays at 8 p.m. To make room, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend will be moving to Friday nights.
It just sounds like I'm gonna see my Crazy Ex-Girlfriend on Friday nights so I can have Supergirl when I want her.
Hey. Films has a new leader. DC Comics Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns will co-run a dedicated film division with current Warner Brothers Pictures Executive VP John Berg. THR is reporting that the executive shakeup is due to the disappointing box office of BBS, as we seem to talk about something new for it each week.
Indeed.
Johns has worked on Smallville, Arrow, The Flash, as well as serving as co-producer on Green Lantern.
Nice.
Nice. In her words, nice. And as executive producer on Batman vs. Superman. He is getting started immediately by working with David Ayers to smooth out Suicide Squad's third act.
Leave the Suicide Squad alone, for the love.
And he's helping to co-write the script for the next Batman movie with Ben Affleck.
Do movies have acts? I was unaware that this was a thing outside of plays.
Of course.
I'm so uncultured. I'm so uncultured, Mr. J. No, sorry, that was really bad.
No, it was good, Harley. At the same time, looks like Charles Roven may be changing roles as well within DC.
Rolling. What?
Roven.
Oh. Can do that too.
Also, according to THR, it looks like he's going to be having less of a day-to-day role with the operations.
Roll.
Instead, he's going to be more of an executive producer. Okay, they're getting him off the sets. Although he still is on the set overseeing the operations of Justice League Part 1, but John Berg has been sent in to oversee those operations as well.
Intriguing.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is moving back from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Fans were worried that with the recent cut of several ABC superhero shows, and with this move back in the time slot, that ABC might be done with Marvel shows.
No!
But Channing Dungey, the new president of entertainment for ABC, said not to worry. There are several shows already in the pipeline that they're working on, and they wanted to create a 2-hour comedy block on Tuesdays leading up to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
So, we'll see where that goes.
Yeah?
While talking Marvel, Thor Ragnarok is going to have an all-star cast. Kate Blanchett is going to be the main villain, Hela.
Hella.
Hela.
She's from California. Say hella here a lot.
Jeff Goldblum is going to be the Grand Master, Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, and Carl Urban as Scourge.
Along with the normal
Yep.
actors, I suppose.
Yep.
Senior Chris and Tom and...
Chris, Tom, Idris Elba, and Anthony Hopkins all return.
Yeah, all my bros. We're all BFFs.
Mark Ruffalo will also be making an appearance.
I don't know Marky Mark so well, but hopefully.
The Hulk.
I know who he is. I'm just saying that I don't know him as well as I know the others.
I see. But
Not on a first name basis.
one thing that's very absent, there's no mention of the Earth cast this time around.
Yeah, that Earth cast.
Except for the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Could we be getting a little bit of Planet Hulk here?
No.
Seems like it. As we've reported before, Jennifer Lawrence has said again that she would like to continue to be part of the X-Men universe.
Of course she would.
Well, she was first talking about how she didn't really like going into makeup to wear all the body paint for shoots. Like we were talking earlier about Game of Thrones, how it was taking 10 hours to put on.
Totes.
Yeah. But she says, a little bit of a different spin this time to Entertainment Weekly. She said, as long as James McAvoy, Xavier, and Michael Fassbender,
Magneto.
are back to reprise their roles, she's on board as well.
Nice.
They have made a pact together that one will not return without the other.
Others.
Yes. And it looks like Michael Keaton is actually back on as the main villain of Spider-Man Homecoming.
Wax on, wax off.
THR and Variety are both reporting
Both!
that Keaton is in final negotiations with Marvel to join Tom Holland in the film.
Intriguing.
Netflix and Disney's multi-year deal is actually taking effect this September. This was signed several years ago, but it brings the latest Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilms, and Pixar movies exclusively to Netflix
What?
for as a paid TV home.
Huh?
AKA ABC, owned by Disney, is not pay TV. So certain things may still end up on ABC.
I see. Some things will be on Freeform.
Formerly known as ABC Family.
Which, I'm not going to get off topic too much, but good luck if you want to stream that and you got a Chromecast. It's just, the app doesn't let you cast it. You have to put the Chromecast browser plugin in the Chrome and then you can cast it.
And the browser plugin just is inadequate. Chromecast always works perfect with the cell phones.
Yeah.
But it always sucks so bad from the browser. I don't know why.
Come on, Freeform. Get your app in gear. That was totally on accident.
This is huge for Netflix, though. I mean, you look at CBS, you look at HBO. They all have their own standalone devices, their own apps. It seems to be where the market's going. But Disney locked into this deal, I think 3 or 4 years ago. What would it be like to have Disney have their own app that had the ABC shows, the Marvel shows, all of that, and not part of Netflix? I mean, I think this deal was 4 years long. That's eternity in the entertainment industry.
Yep.
It's huge for Netflix. I think they're pretty poised for the next few years.
Well, we'll see.
What do you mean?
I just mean that nothing's certain.
True, nothing's certain. But if you're like us and you haven't made it out to see the Jungle Book yet, oh look, come January it's on Netflix.
It's a long time to wait.
It is a long time to
We
wait.
should just go see Tarzan. It's in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm sure ratings on that are going to be spectacular.
It has Alexander Skarsgård and Margot Robbie. What's wrong with you?
And who's the vampire you like?
I said Alexander Skarsgård.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know his name.
Eric from True Blood. You don't have to know his name, sweetheart.
Everyone recognizes him with his shirt off, though.
Well, I hope so.
IGN is reporting that Alcon Entertainment is making a Garfield CG animated movie franchise.
Is this like the second or third CG Garfield?
Well, the previous Garfields were a mix of CG live action.
I see.
They were a joint.
Hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid. Perfect. But these are actually going to be fully animated movies.
Okay.
But what's got me excited is that actually Jim Davis is on board for these.
Yeah, as an executive producer?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I've seen a couple statements. He seems very excited about where the technology is at now for creating Garfield.
Great.
It sounds really cool.
Sounds very cool.
Jillian Anderson tweeted a photo of her in front of the iconic Bond gun. She had this to say: "It's Bond, Jane Bond."
Hashtag next Bond.
Yep.
So, as a huge Bond fan, I feel like I have to speak on this.
As a huge Connery James Bond fan.
Yes. No. Okay, I don't really know much about Gillian Michaels. I don't really care to know much about her. I'm sure she's...
Gillian Anderson.
Gillian Anderson, whoops. Maybe that's where I'm confused. Anyway, I saw the picture.
X-Files.
Nice person, good actress. There's nothing wrong with changing up the idea of Bond, but I feel like if they're gonna change up Bond from the stereotypical kind of person that always plays Bond, then like they could do better.
That's interesting. For me, her poise just kind of seems very Bond-esque.
I saw the picture and I just couldn't.
Well, she didn't make the picture. It was fan-made.
Yeah,
But she did retweet it.
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna sound like a huge jerk. Gosh, I'm sorry, but
Not at all.
like I don't care if they like freshen it up a bit, but I don't, just.
You want classic Bond movies.
No,
Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't want a girl as Bond. It's weird. It's just weird. I'm not anti-women at all. It's just, it's Bond. And
But this is coming from the girl that's like, ooh, I could do Femme Gambit.
hell yeah, I can do Femme Gambit, but I don't want them to make a movie with Femme Gambit. It's like when they made Thor a girl.
I hear the Thor girl is pretty badass.
Maybe so, but it's not really Thor. Chime in, what do you think?
Yeah,
Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm right. Tell me you want to see Femme Gambit.
Tell her if you want to see her shaken. Not
Shaken.
stirred.
Shaking. I don't know what that means. Maybe you shouldn't say that. Only if you clarify what it means.
Thank you for watching Ricochet 21. Make sure you click like, click subscribe. Tell Kimber what you think in the comment section below.
Apparently you're supposed to tell me to shake it. I don't know. But we'll see ya.